Imagine a story that you thought you knew completely, but that actually hides disturbing secrets and a continuous struggle against temptations and suffering. This ancient manuscript found in the desert of Egypt reveals the emotional battle of Adam and Eve, the despair of losing paradise, and the constant confrontation with Satan, who tried to separate them from their connection with the Creator. These new pages show us a path of pain and regret that reflects the same challenges you face: daily temptations, doubts, and the search for redemption. But there is hope. By exploring the secret, you will discover that the answer to peace and the strength to overcome adversity has always been within your reach. If this dark secret has intrigued you, don't forget to check your subscription to the channel now. Our upcoming videos will reveal even more astonishing mysteries about the lost book of Adam and Eve and other hidden stories that will make you see the truth in a way you never imagined. A new chapter in an ancient story. In one of the most fascinating discoveries of the past 60 years, archaeologists unearthed fragments of an ancient manuscript about Adam and Eve, which promises to reveal an unknown side of this universal story. Hidden in the Egyptian desert, these texts suggest that the account of Eden is deeper and more complex than we know, offering new chapters and details about creation, the fall, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. These fragments reveal that there is much more to explore about Eden and the mysteries of our existence. If you're interested in uncovering hidden secrets and transforming your own reality, I've left a practical book for you to grab in the first pinned comment. Titled The Forbidden Secrets of the Mind, 7 Techniques to Unlock Your Hidden Potential and Transform Your Reality. Get it before it runs out. The narrative transports us to an Eden filled with hidden meanings, where the Creator not only observes, but guides Adam and Eve in critical moments, while Satan, tireless in his opposition, takes on various forms to lead them away from their purpose. More than just a simple story of disobedience, these manuscripts expose the longing and pain that the first human couple felt in losing paradise, illustrating an eternal quest for redemption and reconciliation. This new version invites us to rediscover the fragility and strength of the human condition in a spiritual race that speaks directly to our own experiences of loss and the search for meaning. The Garden of Eden and a hidden chapter. We all know the Garden of Eden, a perfect paradise where Adam and Eve lived in harmony with creation until the moment they tasted the forbidden fruit and were expelled. The serpent, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the promise of being like God have become profound symbols in religious history. But this new discovery may reveal something beyond this well-known narrative. The ancient manuscript suggests that the story of Eden may have additional chapters and details that were lost or intentionally hidden. These hidden pages could bring to light an even more complex and intriguing version of Adam and Eve's fate and the serpent's role in humanity's fall. What if, in addition to the well-known temptation of the serpent, there were other challenges that Adam and Eve faced? Could there be a series of lessons that God intended to teach the first couple? And the garden itself? Was it merely a garden, or perhaps a greater dimension with secrets and mysteries that have never come to light? Some scholars believe that this hidden version could explore lesser-known facets of the relationship between Creator and creation, possibly revealing a more severe and instructive side of paradise. Found in the desert of Egypt, amidst the eternal sands of the Egyptian desert, archaeologists made an extraordinary discovery. Fragments of ancient manuscripts that offer a new perspective on Adam and Eve, known as the Apocalypse of Moses. These ancient documents had been buried for centuries, protected by the arid climate of Egypt, which contributed to their preservation. Although the title suggests a direct connection to Moses, this is not a traditional biblical book, but an apocryphal text, meaning a writing that circulated among early Christians and Jews, but was not included in the official canon of the Bible. Imagine accessing secrets guarded for centuries, revealing perspectives that challenge everything we know. If you want to explore the hidden powers of the mind and go beyond the surface, take advantage of the book I left for you to grab now in the first pinned comment, titled The Forbidden Secrets of the Mind, 7 Techniques to Unlock Your Hidden Potential and Transform Your Reality. Get it before the copies run out. The Apocalypse of Moses presents an expanded and detailed account of Adam and Eve's lives after their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. It describes their daily struggles, regrets, and the search for reconciliation with the Creator. This text portrays a more vulnerable and complex humanity, offering never-before-seen details about the first couple and the challenges they faced in the world outside paradise. The passages found reveal a very human aspect of Adam and Eve, who suffered from loneliness, hunger, the loss of their direct connection to God, and the limitations of mortal life. Scholars believe that this account may have been passed down orally for centuries before being recorded, suggesting it carries traces of the beliefs and oral traditions of ancient Egypt, blended with early Jewish and Christian elements. This fusion of cultures and symbols creates a rich, multi-dimensional narrative that offers a unique insight into the beginnings of humanity. The conflict between Adam, Eve, and Satan. In the account of these ancient manuscripts, Satan's role is more active and complex than we imagined. He is not just the serpent that offers the forbidden fruit, but an unrelenting adversary who seeks to deceive Adam and Eve on multiple occasions and in various ways. In each attempt, he uses cunning tricks and takes on different forms, revealing his ability to adapt and persuade. At times, he appears as a friendly figure, offering advice or promises that sound like the truth, but are actually aimed at leading the couple away from the path the Creator has given them. In addition to his strategies for instigating doubt and disobedience, Satan exploits the most vulnerable emotions of Adam and Eve, such as fear, curiosity, and the desire for knowledge and power. In one passage, he even transforms into a being of divine appearance, trying to make Adam and Eve believe that his authority comes from the Creator himself, only to lead them astray. Satan's insistence on deceiving them demonstrates the depth of his animosity toward humanity and his desire to separate them from divine grace. What do you think of Satan's tactics to deceive and divert Adam and Eve? Don't you think they are deep psychological triggers of the essence of the ego? What lies behind this story's narrative? Leave your comment below and share your thoughts on this struggle of the ego in harmony. We want to know how you understand this battle for the human soul and the comprehension of this wisdom. The Creator, however, intervenes at the most critical moments, preventing Adam and Eve from falling into even deeper traps. These divine interventions are described as visions, voices, or even apparitions of angels sent to protect and guide the couple. In one of these episodes, the Creator sends an angel to prevent Satan from leading Adam and Eve into irreversible disobedience, demonstrating constant divine vigilance and mercy. This conflict is not just a struggle between good and evil, but also a reminder of human free will and the need to seek truth and faithfulness amid the temptations that arise along the way. The first family and the drama of the children. In the ancient manuscripts, the story of Adam and Eve expands to include the conflicts and dilemmas of humanity's first family. Not only did Adam and Eve face challenges after being expelled from Eden, but their children also experienced intense difficulties and conflicting emotions. According to the text, Cain and Abel had twin sisters, a detail that adds layers to the story and intensifies the tensions between the brothers. In a time when humanity was reduced to a single family, these close and complex bonds generated disputes and deep emotional tensions that unfolded tragically. These stories reveal that jealousy and envy were among the first negative feelings to arise among humans. Cain, the firstborn, was a worker of the land, while Abel tended to the flock. Both made offerings to the Creator, but according to the manuscripts, Abel's offering was accepted with greater favor, which made Cain feel rejected and belittled. The fact that Abel had a twin sister named Apocrypha, who was promised to Cain according to the customs described in the manuscript, also created tensions. However, Cain preferred his own twin sister, Lulua, which further exacerbated his feelings of dissatisfaction and frustration. The family conflicts escalated until they culminated in Abel's murder by Cain. This event is described not only as the first homicide, but as a tragic rupture that brings to the world the mark of human suffering and loss. The consequences of this act echo throughout the narrative, highlighting how disobedience, envy, and resentment can destroy bonds and alter the course of history. This tragedy reflects the early difficulties of family life, revealing that from the very beginning, humans had to deal with issues like jealousy, rivalries, and frustrated love. It serves as a reminder that the human condition is marked by a constant struggle between virtues and vices, and that the choices and feelings of each individual can profoundly impact those around them. These texts broaden our understanding of the traditional biblical narrative, showing that the first family was not exempt from flaws and challenges, and that their experiences resonate to this day as lessons about the nature of conflict and reconciliation. The influence of Cain's descendants. After the fall of Adam and Eve, humanity split into two lineages: the descendants of Seth, who remained close to the values and teachings of the Creator, and the descendants of Cain, who, over time, developed a culture marked by rebellion, violence, and an incessant quest for power. The manuscripts describe how the descendants of Seth lived in peace and harmony in the heights of the sacred mountains, away from the temptations and corruptions of the world. They were known for their simplicity, devotion, and dedication to spiritual life, remaining faithful to the teachings passed down by Adam and his lineage. However, this peace was interrupted by the growing influence of the descendants of Cain, who inhabited the plains and developed a culture of pleasures and excesses. Cain, after the murder of Abel, was condemned to wander, but his descendants thrived, creating cities and accumulating knowledge about musical instruments, metals, and even weapons of war. These advances brought by the Cainites attracted the curiosity of the descendants of Seth, especially for their musicality and weaponry, which contrasted with the simple and peaceful life they led. Over time, the descendants of Seth began to visit the plains, drawn by the beauty and lifestyle of the Cainites. The manuscript mentions that the daughters of the descendants of Cain were known for their extraordinary beauty and charming manners, which captivated the men of Seth's lineage, leading them to abandon their values and descend from the mountains to mingle with the Cainites. This involvement resulted in a progressive loss of morality and connection to the teachings of the Creator. Corruption began to spread among them, and the purity that once characterized the descendants of Seth was eroded by the influence of the Cainites. This moral decline was so profound that, according to the texts, the Creator became saddened by the state of humanity, observing how the values of goodness and harmony had been replaced by violence, selfishness, and the pursuit of pleasure. Corruption spread so thoroughly that it affected everyone, regardless of their original lineage. Over time, this degradation of humanity reached the point where the Creator decided that a great flood was necessary to purify the earth and restore order. This episode reinforces the message about the importance of maintaining moral and spiritual integrity, even in the face of external influences. The story of the descendants of Cain and Seth serves as a warning about the dangers of bad influences and the departure from essential values, showing that the loss of principles can have lasting and devastating consequences for all of humanity. The struggle between good and evil. In the pages of these ancient manuscripts, the struggle between good and evil is portrayed in a profound and symbolic way, revealing itself as a conflict that transcends time and manifests in multiple aspects of human existence. The story of Adam and Eve, as well as that of their descendants, is marked by a series of choices and trials where temptation and fall are not isolated events, but part of a constant cycle of attraction to error and the search for redemption. This struggle represents not only the external battle against dark forces such as Satan and his devices, but also the internal conflict that occurs within each individual. In the text, Satan appears as an unrelenting adversary who not only tempts the first couple but persists in his attacks against humanity, seeking to lead them away from the Creator. He takes on various forms, adapts, and insinuates himself into situations of weakness and doubt, revealing how evil can be seductive and deceitful. Each temptation represents an opportunity for evil to infiltrate, using desire, ambition, and even curiosity as entry points. This external and internal clash is portrayed not just as a choice between following or disobeying, but as a test of character and spiritual purpose. If even Adam and Eve faced the advances of such a cunning adversary who utilized advanced psychology by studying the human mind, imagine how much we need to strengthen our minds, empowering our own hidden strengths. Do you want to transform your reality and strengthen your purpose? The book that brings this knowledge is exclusive and is titled The Forbidden Secrets of the Mind: 7 Techniques to Unlock Your Hidden Potential and Transform Your Reality. I've made it available for you to grab in the first pinned comment. Don't miss this spiritual privilege. Get it now. The narrative becomes even more powerful by exploring the consequences of choices that lead to good or evil. The fall of Adam and Eve, for example, is not just an isolated mistake. It brings a series of repercussions for them and for their descendants, reflecting the lasting impact that our decisions can have on ourselves and others. On a broader level, the text suggests that evil exists not only to be avoided, but as a force that challenges humanity to grow in discernment and spiritual strength. It is a battle that demands courage, resilience, and faith, as at many moments the characters find themselves immersed in seemingly insurmountable challenges. This eternal struggle between good and evil is, therefore, a reflection of the daily choices that each person makes, whether in small gestures or large decisions. Throughout the centuries, this narrative continues to resonate, as it reflects the universal dilemmas that we all face: the temptation to take the easier path, the need to resist the seductions that lead us away from our values, and the quest for truth and purpose. This duality between good and evil, so present in the story of Adam and Eve, reinforces the idea that each of us is part of this battle, and that by making choices aligned with good, we can not only overcome opposing forces, but also strengthen our own essence and purpose. These texts suggest that the struggle between good and evil is a continuous opportunity for learning and spiritual growth, challenging each one to maintain integrity and faith, even in the face of temptations. The story of Adam, Eve, and their descendants serves as a reminder that, despite falls and failures, the possibility of redemption is always within our reach, and that by resisting evil, we can draw closer to the Creator and strengthen our spiritual journey. The path to redemption. Throughout the pages of these ancient manuscripts, the path to redemption for Adam and Eve is revealed as a hard journey, filled with remorse, self-awareness, and humility. After being expelled from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were confronted with the consequences of their choice. The world outside paradise was hostile, and the living conditions were harsh. They felt hunger, cold, and physical pain for the first time. Each difficulty faced, from lonely nights to the need to fight for survival, served as a constant reminder of the lost paradise. However, these challenges also became fertile ground for the couple's spiritual growth. In the text, Adam and Eve's remorse is described movingly. They often engage in long periods of fasting and prayer, seeking reconciliation with the Creator. Adam, in particular, places himself in a state of intense penitence, kneeling in tears and lamenting his disobedience. Each moment of pain and regret is a form of purification, through which he and Eve begin to understand the weight of their actions and the true meaning of being in communion with the Creator. At many moments, the Creator, moved by the sincerity of their repentance, sends signs of comfort, such as the light of a star or the visit of angels who bring them words of hope. The search for redemption is portrayed as a continuous and profound process, where Adam and Eve need not only to ask for forgiveness, but also to find the strength to move forward, learning to rebuild their lives in the imperfect world they now inhabit. They learn to care for one another, to work together, and to find solace in creation itself. The text shows how, by facing adversities and persevering in the quest for reconciliation, they achieve a new understanding of divine love and mercy. Beyond remorse, the path to redemption involves building a new relationship with the Creator, based no longer on the physical proximity of Eden, but on faith and trust in His goodness. Adam and Eve understand that, even far from the garden, they can maintain a spiritual connection with God, and that through acts of kindness and devotion, they can draw near to Him once again. This process serves as a metaphor for the human journey itself, where each person, despite mistakes and falls, has the opportunity to seek a second chance and a new beginning. In the end, the story of Adam and Eve reveals that redemption is always possible for those who sincerely seek it, and that the Creator's forgiveness is a constant presence, ready to embrace those who repent and are willing to start anew. It is a message of hope and renewal, showing that no matter how deep the abyss of the fall, there is a way back, marked by faith, sincere repentance, and the desire to live in harmony with divine principles. Thus, Adam and Eve become a universal symbol of human resilience and the possibility of spiritual transformation, a reminder that through the constant pursuit of redemption, it is possible to find a sense of peace and new beginnings even in the darkest moments. The deep sadness for the loss of paradise. The expulsion from Eden brought Adam and Eve a sadness and emptiness they could never have imagined. The garden, which had been their home since creation, was a place of perfect harmony, where the presence of God was palpable and nature vibrated in complete peace and beauty. Eden offered safety, food, and an environment of purity, where they knew no fear, pain, or hard work. However, after their fall, Adam and Eve were thrust into a new and hostile world, where the soil was barren, the winds biting, and the climate relentless. The difference between the beauty of the garden and the harshness of their new reality was overwhelming. They now had to fight for survival, feeling for the first time the weight of fatigue and the discomfort of hunger. This contrast became a constant source of suffering, especially for Adam, who mourned his choice and the consequences imposed on his beloved Eve. He often looked to the horizon toward Eden, consumed by an inexplicable longing, knowing that sacred place was forever out of reach. Eve, for her part, remembered with sadness the sweet scent of the flowers and the gentle sound of Eden's waters, which now seemed like just a distant dream. I need to remind you quickly that if you've made it this far, leave a like. This is a way for you to tell me how much this topic interests you, and I'll bring you more content like this. Beyond the physical hardships, the spiritual loss was the deepest pain. Eden was not only a physical home, but also the place of a pure and direct connection with the Creator. There, they felt loved, protected, and guided. Outside of Eden, that closeness seemed weakened, and the feeling of abandonment was overwhelming. They no longer heard God's voice as before, and the divine presence, once visible and near, became a mystery they needed to seek with faith and devotion. The spiritual loneliness and longing for divine proximity created in both a sadness that transcended the mere loss of a physical place. It was the loss of a part of themselves. This sorrow for the loss of paradise symbolizes the human yearning for a lost spiritual home, a state of wholeness that we feel has been left behind. Since then, humanity has carried this nostalgia for Eden, reflected in the desire to find meaning, spiritual connection, and inner peace. The account of Adam and Eve reminds us that although we may experience moments of connection with the divine, there is always a deep and constant drive to return to that source from which we feel we have been separated. In their new reality, Adam and Eve struggled to rebuild their lives, learning to cultivate the land and face adversities. With each plant that grew from the barren soil and each drop of sweat shed, they remembered how easy it was to live in Eden, where everything was within reach without effort. But despite the sadness and difficulties, they persevered, trying to honor the Creator even in their exiled condition, with the hope that somehow their devotion might one day restore the broken bond. The story of Adam and Eve is, therefore, a mirror of the human desire to find the way back to that spiritual home, which is also a spiritual state. It reminds us that as long as we are in the world, we will be searching for that lost paradise, attempting through faith and the quest for purpose to reconnect with the source from which we came. Conclusion. These ancient stories about the creation and fall of Adam and Eve are more than just mythical accounts. They are profound reflections of the human experience, the inner struggle between light and darkness, and the relentless search for something beyond ourselves. These narratives explore the roots of the human desire for belonging, understanding, and redemption, suggesting that ultimately we are all on a journey back to something greater, a divine origin or a universal truth. The trajectory of Adam and Eve is a symbolic representation of the challenges, mistakes, and lessons we face throughout life, from confronting our limitations to the desire to find meaning and purpose. These ancient manuscripts invite us to reflect on our own condition. What does it mean to be human, to be vulnerable, and at the same time capable of choices that shape our destiny? Adam and Eve, in their humanity, reveal the desire for wisdom and connection with the Creator, the same desire that continues to echo in the questions each of us carries: where we came from, where we are going, and what the purpose of our existence is. Their path, filled with trials, mistakes, and regret, reminds us that even when we err or stray from our essence, the possibility of redemption and reconciliation remains within our reach, as long as we have the humility and courage to seek it. Exploring these stories is like looking through a window into the eternal dilemmas of humanity, realizing that, although we have advanced in knowledge and technology, the fundamental questions of our existence remain the same. In every generation, we seek answers to the mysteries of good and evil, love and loss, faith and doubt. These narratives, by recounting the challenges and triumphs of our ancestors, inspire us to value the wisdom and knowledge we can gain from experience, even if that pursuit often leads us to confront our own flaws and fears. And you, have you ever found yourself reflecting on these mysteries of good and evil, love and loss? Share in the comments which of these themes resonates with you the most, and how these stories inspire your own quest for wisdom. In the end, these stories suggest that the true purpose of the human journey is to learn to walk with awareness and compassion, seeking not just answers but a sense of inner peace and harmony with the Creator and the universe around us. They encourage us to continue our own journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, reminding us that no matter how distant the lost paradise may seem, the search for it is worth every step, every reflection, and every act of faith. After all, the adventure of discovering and understanding the mystery of life is the most precious journey we can undertake. A journey that transforms us and gradually brings us closer to the divine essence we carry within ourselves. If the search for the lost paradise resonates with you, then this journey of self-discovery and spiritual transformation is just beginning. Discover the forbidden secrets of the mind. 7 techniques to unlock your hidden potential and transform your reality, available in the first pinned comment. Every piece of content I've left here on the screen has been designed to guide you deeper into this mission and help you unlock your true potential. Let's grow together, step by step. Want to further strengthen your journey of self-discovery? Explore the other videos on the channel. Thank you for watching this far. Subscribe to the channel and continue receiving our upcoming content. See you in the next video.